Welcome to Insightful Gaming. Path of Exile 2 Early Access is just around the corner, and today we're diving into the 6 classes you'll get to choose from at launch. Whether you're a returning player or completely new to the series, this guide will give you an overview of each class's playstyle, core mechanics, and unique abilities. By the end, you'll know which hero suits your preferred combat style, and you'll be ready to embark on your journey into Wraeclast. Let's start with the Monk, an agile melee class that blends raw combat power with elemental magic. The Monk is a specialist in mobility and precision, capable of weaving through enemies with unarmed attacks or their primary weapon, the quarterstaff. What sets the Monk apart is their use of elemental synergy, incorporating wind, ice, and lightning into their attacks. As you fight, the Monk builds momentum, a core mechanic that powers up their next abilities. With momentum fully charged, you'll unleash devastating elemental damage on enemies, often clearing entire groups in a single combo. One of the Monk's signature skills involves summoning a giant elemental bell that resonates with energy. Striking this bell causes waves of elemental force to radiate outward, dealing massive area of effect damage. On top of that, the Monk excels in enhancing their attack range, extending their strikes to hit enemies from afar, and chaining abilities for high burst damage. If you're looking for a class that combines speed, fluidity, and magic in melee combat, the Monk will be your perfect choice. Next, we have the Warrior, a slower but much tankier class built for players who want to stand their ground and dominate the battlefield with massive area of effect attacks. The Warrior's primary weapon is the Mace, which delivers heavy-hitting, ground-shaking attacks that can stagger enemies and leave entire groups reeling. Unlike the Monk, the Warrior emphasizes sheer force and durability, allowing them to weather attacks while dishing out incredible damage. One standout ability of the Warrior is their blocking mechanic. While using a shield, the Warrior can block frontal damage, including projectiles and spells, making them incredibly defensive. But there's a trade-off: overusing blocks can lead to stagger, leaving the Warrior temporarily vulnerable. To complement their defensive playstyle, the Warrior can summon totems that assist in combat. Some totems deal shockwave damage, while others automatically cast slam abilities, essentially acting as a second Warrior on the battlefield. Animation canceling and redirection are also key aspects of the Warrior's kit, giving them the ability to roll out of danger or reposition quickly despite their slower base speed. If you want a tanky class with powerful area damage and the ability to summon totems for extra support, the Warrior is your ideal choice. Now, let's talk about the Ranger, a classic choice for players who enjoy precision and mobility. The Ranger wields a bow and focuses on rapid attacks that deal elemental damage. This class excels at kiting enemies, keeping them at a distance while delivering consistent damage, and has abilities to manipulate the battlefield. The Ranger's arsenal includes elemental arrows, such as lightning shots that chain between enemies, ice arrows that slow and freeze foes, and even poison arrows that inflict damage over time. What makes the Ranger so appealing is their speed. They can zip across the map, clearing content quickly and efficiently, making them an excellent choice for farming or progressing through early game content. One particularly flashy ability involves bouncing arrows, where a single shot ricochets between multiple enemies, creating explosive chain reactions. If you're a fan of ranged combat with high mobility and the ability to rain destruction from afar, the Ranger is your go-to class. Moving on to another ranged option, we have the Mercenary. This unique class feels like a mix of a third-person shooter and an action RPG hero. The Mercenary uses guns and specialized ammunition, giving them a modern flair in the otherwise dark fantasy world of Path of Exile. What makes this class stand out is its flexibility. You can switch between rapid-fire attacks, explosive grenades, and devastating shotgun blasts, adapting to any combat scenario. One of the Mercenary's signature features is the ability to summon ballistas or turrets. These deployable tools provide additional firepower, dealing elemental damage or taking out enemies automatically as you move around the battlefield. The Mercenary also has the ability to shred enemy defenses, breaking through armor or shields with piercing shots before delivering heavy follow-up attacks. While the Mercenary doesn't have the same mobility as the Ranger, their versatility makes them incredibly fun to play. If you're looking for a dynamic, ranged class with a modern twist and tons of utility, the Mercenary will feel right at home. Now, let's shift to a class that offers something entirely different: the Witch. A fan favorite from Path of Exile 1, the Witch is the game's quintessential summoner and spellcaster. This class specializes in necromancy, raising an army of undead minions to fight alongside them. Skeletons, zombies, and even specters can be summoned to overwhelm enemies, allowing the Witch to control the battlefield with sheer numbers. The Witch's core mechanic revolves around spirit caps, which limit the number of permanent minions you can summon. However, with the right items and abilities, you can raise additional temporary minions or enhance the power of your existing army. Beyond summoning, the witch also excels at curses and poison-based spells, weakening enemies while buffing her minions to deal even more damage. If you enjoy a more hands-off playstyle where you command an army of loyal followers while focusing on strategic positioning and casting support spells, the witch is a fantastic choice. There's a reason this class remains one of the most popular in the series. It's incredibly satisfying to watch your undead horde tear through enemies while you plan your next move. Finally, we have the Sorceress, a class for players who want to harness the pure, destructive power of elemental magic. The Sorceress is your classic spellcaster, specializing in fire, lightning, and ice spells that can obliterate enemies from a distance. This class excels in dealing massive area of effect damage, making it ideal for clearing large groups of enemies. One of the Sorceress's standout abilities is the ability to combine elemental effects. For instance, casting a lightning spell through a wall of fire will add fire damage to your lightning attack, creating devastating synergies. The Sorceress also has access to auto-casting abilities, allowing certain spells to trigger automatically under specific conditions, such as when an enemy is burned or frozen. While the Sorceress is incredibly powerful, she's also fragile, requiring precise positioning and awareness to avoid taking hits. But for those who love the thrill of melting enemies with devastating magic, the Sorceress offers unparalleled satisfaction. If you're looking for a high-damage, high-reward spellcasting class, the Sorceress is your best bet. Now that we've covered all 6 classes, let's talk about their long-term potential. Each class in Path of Exile 2 has access to ascendancy classes, which unlock additional specializations. These ascendancies allow you to fine-tune your playstyle, whether it's turning the Sorceress into a time-bending chronomancer or giving the warrior even more tanking capabilities. With 2 ascendancies available per class in early access, the 6 base classes expand into 12 unique options, each with its own playstyle and mechanics. So how do you choose the right class? It depends on what you enjoy most. If you're a fan of melee combat with a magical twist, the monk offers unmatched agility and elemental synergy. For those who love tanky, hard-hitting characters, the warrior is an excellent choice with its durability and totem support. Ranged players will enjoy the ranger for its speed and precision, or the mercenary for its modern, flexible toolkit. And for spellcasters, the witch provides an army of minions for a more strategic approach, while the sorceress delivers raw elemental power. Each class offers something unique, and Path of Exile 2's depth ensures that no matter which you choose, you'll find exciting builds and synergies to explore. Early access is just the beginning, with more ascendancies and content planned for the future. So pick the class that excites you most and dive into the adventure. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Insightful Gaming for more Path of Exile content. Which class are you most excited to try? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for in-depth guides on builds, ascendancies, and endgame strategies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Wraeclast.